Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's Reading the Red. Matthew chapter 10, verse 32. Jesus says these words, "Therefore, everyone who confesses me before men, I will also confess him before my Father who is in heaven." Everyone. So that means everyone, not only some, but everyone who confesses. And Jesus here is saying, therefore, which means in the light of what I've just said, so having done all these things that I've applied previously in terms of the teaching he's given, he says, everyone who confesses me. And the word confession really is to basically make a testimony. It's to say, I have, as it were, allegiance with this one. And Jesus is saying, anyone that confesses me, saying, I am of him, I am the same as him. I'm going his way. I'm doing life his way. If anyone who confesses me before men. And the reality of confession is the things we say, but it's also the things we do as well. Lots of people say lots of things and don't do what they say. They want you to be, as it were, people who just sort of see and hear, but they don't really, but they're not really living out the example. Jesus is saying those who hear the word and apply the word, they're the ones that are my disciples. And so anyone that confesses me, meaning say it and live it, confesses me before my Father who is in heaven, before men. Anyone confesses me before men, so give a testimony of life about me to men. Jesus is saying, I will confess him, them, meaning all, everyone, men, women, everyone, children. He will confess everyone before his Father who is in heaven. And in Luke, it says in angels. So Jesus is going to brag on you. He's going to say, that one there belongs to me. And not only is he, just a bit like when Job came into the presence of God, and God bragged on Job because Job was a man who walked in integrity to follow God's ways. So Jesus is going to do the same thing. He's going to say, that one belongs to me. He's proud of us. He kind of takes us under his wing. He says, you leave him alone. He belongs to me. She belongs to me. They're mine. You can't touch them. He says that to devils. He says that to fallen angels. He says that to humanity. And when God, in effect, takes part in your life, there is a kind of a holy covering. Come under the shelter of his wing, says the psalmist. And that sense of being covered and protected by God in eternity, not just on earth, but in eternity. God is going to look after us in eternity. He says, I will, that's not partly, that's not might be, that's 32. He says, I will also confess him before my Father who is in heaven. And so we need to realize that the Father is in heaven and Jesus is in heaven and the Holy Spirit is in our hearts. So God will confess us in heaven, in eternity, to himself. Jesus will confess to God, confess to angels that you belong to me. What a wonderful, wonderful thing. Have a great Tuesday. Stay out of the rain. Be blessed, and I'll see you tomorrow.